guys, what's going on? This is your girl, Model E, of course, on the E and Friends podcast. Thank you for tuning into another bi-weekly episode with your girl. I really hope that you guys enjoy last bi-week, my college experience. Make sure you guys, tell me how you can relate. And this bi-week, I'm not going to have many conversations, but the two that I am going to discuss is going to be worth it, okay? All right, so make sure you guys continue to follow me on E and Friends Pod on Instagram and on Twitter. I almost forgot my handle on Twitter at Erica Jones with the Z on the end. And also make sure you check out my second podcast called Life and Love with Erica and Sean. It's a love podcast from my husband and I, and we talk about different things, and you guys will like it. So far, everyone who has been contributing and doing our polls and having conversation with us and sending letters, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Now, tonight, I want to have a conversation about being young and naive. Okay. Now, I know, we all have done some crazy things in our lifetime. Okay. But I can say for me, I have never been a naive person. Okay. I've considered myself to always be a smart girl who knows the right from wrong and who knows when someone is trying to take advantage of me. Okay. So this is a conversation that was brought up in the nail salon. So that particular week, I went to a new nail salon because my current nail salon, they decided that they want to start doing appointments, and my life don't really work like that. I kind of go in when I can. And so they have been, very packed lately, and I wasn't able to get in. Okay. So I decided to go to this one other place that I did try once, but it was ran by an older couple, husband and wife, but they are no longer in there. So they sold the shop to a younger person. So I went in and I said, you know what, let me go ahead and try it. And of course, it's just her, the owner, and she had one person who was doing pedicures, and the other girl, she was kind of like in training. So she was a Spanish girl who did my nails. So let me tell you, first when I went in, I told them that I wanted a full set. So I guess she misunderstood me. So she went and told the girl who was Spanish, in which you do not see a lot of Spanish people in nail salons. They are more like, Asians. So when the girl came up to me and she said, oh, no, she needs a full set. And so she told the owner, she was like, I don't know how to do a full set. And she was like, well, go ahead and try. And because I need about 15 minutes until, I finish my current customer, and I'll be over there to help you. So the young lady, she probably was in her maybe early 30s. I know she's been out of her 20s by early 30s because she has two kids that's around the same age as mine. They were 7 and 12. And so, I've never really had that much conversation in a nail salon with the actual person. We may say one or two things here and there, but not carry on a conversation. So that's how I know she was not Asian. Okay. So the owner was doing someone else's nails. So the younger girl, her and I, we were just talking about different things and stuff, talking about kids and school. And so this other girl, she had a newborn. And for at least an hour, that baby was in there sleeping. First of all, that is good because I never took any of my kids in a nail salon or a hair salon, anywhere that I'm getting services. I never took my kids. And up until this day, they still never went in there. Okay. So this baby was sleeping the whole time. So, we were all talking back and forth about, how he kept sleeping. And so the owner was finished doing her nails. And so she went outside. She said, let me go and let me take a call real quick because I noticed she was always texting on her phone. And I'm like, she's getting her nails done. Who is she texting? So she went outside probably for about 5 or 6 minutes. Then the baby started to get up and, look around and stuff and, did a little cooing and stuff, but really didn't cry. So the girl and we just started talking like, oh, that's a good baby, like, and then he started crying. It was like, oh, he want his mama, maybe he's hungry. So the mother comes back in and she was like, she told the baby, she's like, oh, you're looking for me. I'm here. I'm here. And so I guess that was the opportunity to open up the floor. And so she started talking and she was like, that was my non sugar daddy, like that, right? And me and a Spanish girl looked at each other like, huh? And she was like, yeah, that's my non sugar daddy. Like, we don't do anything. I work at Food Line across the street and I work in the bakery department. No, she said she worked in the food department with the tacos and stuff. And she said this Spanish guy, he's a little older than her, and she's probably about in her early 30s as well, So she was saying that, he comes in there and he gets tacos all the time. And she just started having a friendly conversation with him. And the conversation was just that, it wasn't of nothing else. So she just know that he used to come in here all the time and get tacos. And she was like, okay, you have a good day. One day he asked for her phone number. She gave him her phone number. He never actually called her. He just, text her all the time, asked her how she was doing, how was the baby, and such and such. So she would go on and continue to have a conversation with this guy. Okay. So one day she said, he just gave me money. And I mean, he's being nice, so I'm going to take it. And the lady, the owner who was doing her nails, she was like, you better be careful, like you don't get nothing for free like that, right? So, and I'm saying to myself, I say, yeah, you probably might, want to be careful. I say, don't do too much. Just be careful with that because people may seem to be nice, but later on, they're going to eventually want something in return. So she was like, oh, no, 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 it's nothing like that. He already knows. I already told him that I'm not going to go anywhere with him. Every time we meet, we always meet in a very open location where a lot of people is around. And she said even one day after work when she went home, just in case he decided to follow her, she took a loop around and didn't go to the exact location where she lived. So it was like, all right. So she kept on talking and she started reading texts that he sent her. And one of the texts that he happened to send that day was like, what are you doing? How much money do you need? And she was like, oh, well, the $100 that you gave me last week, I went and got my hair done with it. And, and so she was like, well, I'm not going to ask you for anything, but you can give me whatever you want to give me. I'll be appreciative of it. And so he said, well, I will come by the store today and I will go ahead and give you another $150, for you and the baby. Now, remind you, she has an older child at home as well, probably like around 10 or 11 years old. And she said he came to the store, met her in the parking lot, and he gave her $150 and say, this is for the baby. So as she was in the nail salon and she was talking to him, she was telling him that she were on her way to go to some part in North Carolina because one of her grandmother or grand aunt or something like that had died. And so she were going over there with the other family to take care of that. And she was like, my aunts and my cousins and stuff, they all were coming home and I wanted to take them out to go get something to eat. Which is in my mind, I'm saying, see, now that's a way of her asking him for money without asking because she know that this guy, really likes her or he trying to get something from her. And of course, he got his own business, so he has a couple dollars and he's going to give it to her. So he says, well, how much money do you need? And she was like, oh, well, I'm not going to ask you for anything, but if you give me something, that'd be fine. I do want to take my aunt out, for dinner. And so he was like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and I'll bring you $200. 200, like, okay, at this point, this man is just dishing out money. Because for me, in my head, I'm like, okay, this guy is giving me money. I'm not giving him anything in return except a little friendly conversation. I think sooner or later he's going to want something back, right? So there's more guys. So she comes up again and says, oh, I had just got a new car about 3 weeks ago. And that was right around the time I met him. And he asked me, how much is your car payment every month? And she told him the car payment. And he was like, I'll make your first month car payment and bring your car to me. I'll, fill it up with gas. So guess what she does? She's going to accept the first month car, did I say rent? That she's going to accept the first month car note as well as she's going to let him fill up her gas tank. So she was like, yeah, I'm going to go up the road in North Carolina. So I'm glad that he's filling up my tank. And she was like, I make food lion money. You already know I'm not making no money over there. So in my head, I'm like, okay, so where is your kid's father? You got two kids. Apparently, there is no stable man in your life if you are taking money from this guy, right? So that time has passed. She was in there for a little while. The baby's still not crying or anything. I'm like, damn, this is a good ass baby because it was my kids. They would have been to run me the hell up out of there. So again, so here come the young girl who was doing my nails. So I guess that conversation opened up for her to tell her little story. So when the girl that has the baby, when she said, "Oh, I can ask him if he got a friend or a cousin," and the girl was like, "No, no, no, no." She said, "I done been there. I done that." So she was taking money from a guy as well. He just kept giving it to her and giving it to her, and then he was like, "I want my money back." Well, this is the thing. She decided that she wanted to call it off because he, started asking for stuff. He wanted more and she didn't want that. So he said, well, you got to give me my money back. And she was like, give you your money back? You gave it to me. I didn't ask for it. How stupid can you be? Do you really think that someone is just going to be dishing out money to you like an ATM machine and you not returning anything back? So at this point, I think the boy, he became a little stalkerish. He kept stalking her. He was pulling up to her job. He was calling her, blowing her phone up all the time. And she said that she didn't really say what she did, but she said she had to get away from him because it was becoming bad. So I don't know what happened, but whatever happened, believe me, she was not going back and do that shit again. She learned her damn lesson. So she told the girl, she said, I've been there, I've done that. It may not seem like they want anything from you except just a conversation. And maybe he do just want a conversation, but be careful how you are taking his money because you are getting something from him and you're not giving anything back. So I was very proud to hear her say that because she was a young girl as well. So I was very proud of her to have learned from her mistakes and was able to, tell somebody else to be careful. So ladies, if you out there and you are receiving money, receiving gifts, just getting things from someone and you are not doing anything in return, just be careful. Okay? Because in the beginning, it may not seem like they want anything. It just may be a friendly conversation. Hey, how are you doing? What has your day been like? And speaking of what your day been like, the Spanish guy, called the girl with the baby. He called her on the phone while she was in the nail place, and she put it on speakerphone for us to listen to it. And he said, "Oh, I just wanted to see how your day were. You know, you are a very pretty girl." Like he said that. And so she kind of got like a, "Oh, thank you." That's what she said. And then she was like, "Oh, okay, I gotta go. I'm getting my nails done." So he hung up the phone. So right then, I know that she felt something, and we all agreed, even the owner of the nail shop, which is, an older Asian lady. So, they don't do all of that. So she immediately like recognized it in the beginning, like, you better be careful. So we all was like, just be careful, girl. So I do not want to see her on the news. Okay. So I hope she, know what she's doing and just be careful, man. I mean, that's all I can say. Just be careful because look, I understand. I know it's hard. It's very hard, but you have to play it safe and play it smart these days. Yes, men will come up to you and give you the shirt off their backs, but the minute they get you and they put you in a corner, and as a woman, we are very fragile. And a lot of times we are not able to defend ourselves. And that could be the end. You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Even when I go places, I make sure that I am good. Okay. I make sure that I am good just in case something like that happens. Because I don't want to end up being a victim. I really don't. So just be careful when you're taking stuff because it may not seem what you think it is. Okay. I don't think anything is being done for free. You can't go to the store and get free groceries. So no one isn't going to give you anything free without giving anything in return. Okay. All right. Next topic. Why do Black people, yes, Black people, always come to other nationalities and beg for money? Now, let me tell you the reason why I said that. So, the reason why I said that is because when I was in that same nail salon, this Black woman came in there. And when she came in there, she was just looking around. She didn't look like she wanted to get her nails done. She didn't look like she wanted to get her toes done. She wasn't inquiring about anything else. And I said, that lady is about to ask for something. I know that look, okay? So she waited for a second, and the owner was like, "May I help you?" And she said, "May I speak to the owner for a minute?" And when she said that, I was like, "This, about to ask for shit." So the lady went over there and talked with her, and I couldn't hear what she was saying, but the owner was telling her, "Come back on Monday. It's Saturday. It's a busy day for me. Just come back on Monday, and I can talk to you on Monday." So you know what that means. When somebody tell you to come back, they don't want to talk to your ass. They ain't interested. They don't want to tell you, but they are not interested. And so the lady was like, "Okay, thank you. I'll come back." And I'm saying, why is this lady asking this woman for money? Like, I don't. Okay, let me say this. You got something going on. You're doing something for the community. I understand that you want to, get the community involved and ask them for things, but it's always money. Why isn't like volunteer work or services needed to be asked? Like ask that woman to come and say, "Hey, I'm having this event and I want to know if you can donate about 4 hours or even 2 to 3 hours of your service of painting some nails for some women who are going for a job interview, who don't have much, like that." Because different nationalities, they stick together. Unlike us as Black people, we don't do that. we're always fussing and fighting at each other, and we're jealous of each other, and we just feel like somebody is always trying to get ahead of us, so we do everything we can in our powers to stop them. We don't get along like that. I wish that we could, because Spanish people, they stick together. Okay. Asian people, they stick together. Okay. Everybody stick together. They do, except us. And we got to stop asking people for money. Offer something else, because people would be more reluctant to give to us if we just stop asking for money. Because y'all remember back in the day, and I don't know if they still do it or not, but back in the day when you used to go to church, they used to give out the little coin booklets where you put the quarters in and you go and you ask people to donate. I hate doing that. I never liked asking anyone for money for anything. That's why it never worked out for me for being a salesman, because I don't like to ask people for money. I don't. And there are some people out there who can do it and like don't have no shame. You know, they lie, they cheat, and they steal to get what they want out of people. That's just not me. I can't do it. And the reason why I won't give to a lot of people that I see on the street, it's because they're lying, cheating, and stealing. You got more money than me. I saw this guy on the road one day begging for money, and he's always on this corner begging for money like he's homeless. At the end of the day, watch this guy walk across the parking lot, and guess what he was driving? A BMW. Yes, I was driving a Nissan Altima. He trying to get my Ultima money and he got a BMW. That's why I don't believe in it. I was fooled one time by this lady, and this was a white lady. She was at Food Lion and she was sitting in her car, and I just happened to park beside her. And she had her windows down and she said something. Stupid me, look back at her. So of course she gets out and she do her little spur. Hey, my grandmother just died out in High Point and I'm trying to get some gas to get over there. But you sitting in the parking lot looking for money. So, you know me, my little giving heart. I gave this woman, I think it was like $5. It wasn't much. I'm not doing too much because I need money my damn self. So I'm not trying to get nobody all my money, okay? So I think I gave her like $5. And so she was like, okay, thank you so much. Gave her the $5. She got back in the car. Next person came out, telling a whole different story to that other person. And I'm like, these fucking crackheads, like they would do anything to get your money. Them the fuckers that should be working at the car dealerships. They should be selling them damn the knives and vacuum cleaners because they are good at their job. You hear me? Anybody who has who smokes, who do drugs, who drinks beer, alcohol all the time, like anybody who has, I can't give a word what I'm trying to say, but anyway, anybody who does that stuff and like they need it, trust me, they would do anything to get that vice. That's what it is, vice. They would do anything to get those vices. Lord, I thank you. I ain't got no bad vices, Lord, because I don't know if I could make it. So stop asking folks for money. Stop lying. Stop cheating. Stop stealing. Because it's a hard world out here and we don't have no money to give. We trying to keep food in our refrigerators. We trying to keep gas in the gas prices going back up. We trying to do all those things and we just regular, normal working people trying to live. I'm not trying to get out there on the corner and beg nobody for nothing. And I know I don't have to be on that corner. That's what gets me. You know you don't have to be out there, but your ass is too lazy to get a fucking job like everybody else. You rather beg. I ain't doing that shit. First of all, it be too hot in the summer, it be too cold in the winter, and I don't like it. Okay? I can't do it. So, thank you guys for tuning to this bi-weekly episode. I hope that you enjoy this episode. Do not be naive. All my young people and you old asses out there too. A lot of y'all can be naive too. Don't take nothing from nobody and expect nothing in return. It's never like that. Trust me. And Black folks, please stop asking people for money. Offer something else. All right, guys. I am your girl, Model E. See you next week. Deuces.